James, it has been a long road to the Phoenix, but we see 3 big races upcoming this Saturday. The Dogs WA Road to the Phoenix is held this Saturday here at Cannington.
That's right. We've got 3 qualifiers, heats, finals, whatever they are. They're really good races.
3 races.
3 races. And now, tell us, where are we at with the Phoenix right at the moment, Leia?
So we've got 3 dogs who have...
Well, it's not the slot to the Phoenix.
Yes, exactly. For the Tab Touch slot here in
Yes.
WA, we will have a dog representing us at the end of it, which we will know by early December. But we already have 3 dogs who have qualified for the final 8, as we've got 2 4-dog races next week. Are you following?
This is me trying to work out how the Phoenix slot qualification process works. The important thing is, Leia, Momentum, Unsee, this Vice Grip, they're already into the final 8.
Yes.
Which will be
next week.
Yeah. In 2 lots of 4.
2 4-dog races.
Okay, and we've worked out the rest of the dogs, the other 5 dogs, with these 3 races that we've got here at Cannington on Saturday.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Right. Well, let's go straight into it,
Yep.
James, because we've got a lot to cover. Let's take a look at the field here for the first race. And Valachi is back. He has won his past 5 and then took a small break. So I'm really excited to see him back racing. But he does come up against Momentum, who took out the Group 3 Young Stars over the weekend and is drawn out of the Cherry here. So going to be tough to beat. But Barefoot Tycoon also engaged and did really well for you last week, James.
Yeah, my new favourite dog, Leia, Barefoot Tycoon. Look, a dog that's always thereabouts. Will be charging home. Whether there's enough, whether he took it too far back here, that's the question for Barefoot Tycoon. Hard to go past Momentum here. This dog is on fire at the moment. Of course, confirmed his status as a star by winning the Young Stars Classic last week. He's a dog going places. He's got the pole here. Hard to beat. Fantastic, though, isn't it, to see Valachi back? This dog was really motoring prior to him having to come out. Had that spell, pulled out on the day of the final of the Spring Gift when he looked like one of the main chances there. Got a tough assignment, though, coming back up against Momentum here. Are you caught up with Taylor Rawlings, who is connected to Valachi and the rest of the dogs in that kennel? What did she have to say about this dog?
Yes, and her grandmother, Margaret Heppel, trains Valachi, and she said that Valachi and the rest of the litter got kennel cough, so they were given a bit of time off, which is good, so they've recovered. It is a tough field, but Valachi has plenty of early speed, so I think he still does have a chance here.
All right, what about this next Phoenix race, or Dogs WA Phoenix Road to the... What about this next race?
How about we just bring the field up, James, and let's take a look here at the box draw, and a combination to me, James. It seems of a bit like they've put the Chase final and the Young Stars final together. We've got Tiger Town, Jimmy's Decision amplified, and then the added spice of the Chase winner, West on Bray here, who is red hot at the moment, James. At Cannington, a PB of 29 and 61, so a very good chance. Yeah,
been very impressive since he's come back, hasn't he, after a couple of months off in that Chase series, winning the final down there over the 405, 22-30 odd. It was a really nice run. Of course, picked up that injury in the Sprint Championship, but before that, this was a dog that was really on the up. He was going places. He's a fine talent, and if you think box 8 is going to be a problem for him, he is 3 from 3 in the pink. But what about some of these other dogs here? Look, Amplified, I think, is a chance here. Of course, got tangled up with Panadira Opal in that Young Stars final. Obviously, no ill effects from that because he's going around here, gets an inside draw, has got early pace. Tiger Town's racing well. Brazil Manelli, perhaps a little bit of a query about this dog. Is he able to rebound in this race? He's got the lemon, so maybe that's a little bit harder for him. And Jimmy's Decision, a dog that you can never rule out. It's a good one. I'd probably leaning towards West on Bray here, though.
I think this is a very, very competitive race, James, and it really can pan out anyway. Let's take a look at the final race, the third one, and gosh, James, High Sky, last start winner, absolutely pinged out of the boxes. in her last start and crossed really well, comes up with the pole here, so a very good draw. Goes head to head, however, with the Destruction, who won his last two and actually did defeat High Sky 2 starts back, so they'll be going head to head. I think these are two standout runners.
Yeah, they are. Look, Destruction, hard dog to go past. Dog with early brilliance, which you love, a dog that gets out there and sets the agenda out in front. The battle between Destruction and High Sky are going to be very important, for that early lead in this race. Let's go back actually and have a look at High Sky's win last start. As we know, generally rocket propelled out of the traps, and on this occasion from box 4, jumps the field big time, absolutely fires to the front. And remember, this is a dog that's done a fair share of racing over distance events, so she's not going to get run down once she gets to the front here. Was just a step behind Destruction out of the boxes when those two met 2 weeks back, and once again, as mentioned, that early clash between those two dogs vital here. Other runners in this field, Fernando Starr, pretty handy, always thereabouts, and possibly Leia, another dog in this field that is a bit of a smoky out here in box 8 in Capito.
Yes, and also, of course, Taylor Rawlings is connected to Capito, and she sent us some adorable photos. Take a look at this, James. This is a photo of Capito when he was only 8 weeks old, so 2 months. And then the next photo, of course, was him racing on a Sunday.
All grown up.
Yes, had a chat to Taylor, and she said Capito doesn't usually mind a wide draw, but it will be tough for him to cross this field. Of course, a very strong race. First start back on Sunday and went 5:43 early, very, very quick, but Taylor is hoping he can show some of that speed again and find his way into the race.
Only had the 6 starts, Capito. Good to see him back in the winner's circle. Once again, looking forward to that race on Saturday. That is what's happening at Cannington on the weekend. What about Friday night down there at Mandurah? We've got six heats of the Dawesville Cup over the 490 metre journey. Too much for us to cover within the scope of this show, Leia, but there was one of those heats you wanted to highlight.
Yes, I thought the standout heat was the first heat, so let's bring up the field for that. And James, this stands out to me as we've got Archibald drawn out of box 8, and he has a great record over the 490. 4 starts, 2 wins, 1 second, but both those wins from box 8. So I think he's got a great chance here. Low blow for Adam Smithson, not one to disregard. Has only had the 2 starts at Mandurah over this distance, but has placed on both occasions. Now, Sleepy George, maybe a bit of a question mark, James. Hasn't been in the winner's circle since August, but I think he definitely has the potential, but I'm just going to throw it out there. I think Archibald wins this.
All right, well, speaking of Archibald, let's have a look at his win from last start. He's in the pink on this occasion, as he will be in the Dawesville Cup heat here. He does it easy, really, jumps well and just slides straight to the front, and that's pretty much all she wrote. He goes on to win this one in a personal best time of 27.55. Look, if he can cross to the front like he did on that occasion in this heat here, he goes a long way to winning this race. You mentioned some of these other dogs there. Low blow. Look, that dog hasn't won since taking out the distance potential. That was some time ago. We'll be finishing this one strongly. Speed Bandit's been racing pretty handily, in decent form at the moment. Another dog possibly features here out of box 1, Patches Colour. This dog's been pretty handy since arriving into Darren Rose Kennels. Only had the 3 starts over here in Western Australia, but from the pole here, maybe gets a chance.
Well, I think the draw's ideal for him, so we'll see how we go there in the 6 heats of the Dawesville Cup, and that was the first heat that we covered. Now, James, very exciting. We have, Saturday racing, the road to the Phoenix for the Dogs WA, and of course the Dawesville Cup on Friday, and we had a great win yesterday on track at Mandurah. Just thought I'd mention that.
What was that, Leia? What was it? I think I saw something that you posted on social media about this. Was this Panama Pepper related?
Yes, indeed.
All right. You want to tell everyone, take us through that. Of course, we've been following your journey.
We have been, so I just feel obliged to keep everyone updated, of course. But Pepper is back in the winner's circle, and I couldn't be more proud of him. He, raced on the Friday, and then he was quickly back on track on the Tuesday. Didn't start too well on Friday, drawn out of box 4, but pinged out on last night, and was drawn the lemon. So I think he did a pretty good job and won in a very quick time.
He did. Look, back to what we saw from him earlier on, that fighting spirit, that will to win, working his way through a field and finish that race off quite strong. He must have been very happy with that win, Leia.
I was. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it on track, but Nick is also part owner, of course, alongside the rest of the crew. We actually were driving at the time, so we stopped and pulled over at a servo parking lot, put the phone up on Sky One, and we cheered on in the car for Pepper.
Not shady at all.
No.
Didn't get the knock on the window from the police
No.
officer. What do you... No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, all
No.
right.
If anything, people were just cheering on Pepper.
Good.
Well.
Well, good to see him back. All right. What about Christmas, Leia? It is coming quickly.
Well underway. 38 days and counting, James. And we are still, well over a month away from Christmas. But it books up so quickly at Cannington and Mandurah. Didn't you mention that Mandra's nearly booked out around the Christmas period?
It is indeed. And Cannington filling up as well. These dates are going fast.
So book if you don't want to miss out. And not even around Christmas time. I mean, if you're planning on coming during the week, we've got lots of specials happening. Chef special tonight, James, the little birdie's told me, is Mediterranean chicken skewers with veg and salsa for only $20.
That's tonight in box
Tonight
one.
here
All
at Mandurah, Cannington.
Cannington tonight, yeah.
Yes.
Sounds delicious, Leia. Do you have a delicious best bet for the racing here tonight?
I do. So we're racing tonight here at Cannington, and my quinella didn't quite come through yesterday, James. Only one of the dogs placed. So I'm doing it again, and we're not going to wait. We're going straight into race one, a quinella with the dogs 2 and 8. So the 2 Joanna keeping and the 8 extremely smooth. There's not too much early speed in this race. So, aside from these 2 dogs, so I think they should be able to get a clear run ahead of the rest of the field here in the first race. What about you?
Right, I'm heading towards race 10, number 2, Rip and Sheen. This dog couldn't quite get the job done for you last week, Leia, but I think with my backing, he'll perform better. We hope, anyway.
Fingers crossed.
Look, only a 6-dog field. This one, it is quite some handy. There are some handy dogs in this one. Rip and Sheen, though, extremely likely to lead this one. We know he does have some vulnerabilities towards the end of his race. He can get overtaken by swoopers, but I think he'll be able to hold on here. So race 10, number 2, Rip and Sheen.
For Shane Williams, who also just shouting out to Shane and also trainer Morgan Turner. A lot of trainers have gone on board to donate for the Movember cause. Unfortunately, David Short is still unwell, but a lot of the guys, Peter O'Neill, Callum Robson and David Short, have been raising money. So definitely jump on board and, donate towards the cause. And also, while we're on the topic of Shorty, a shout out to him. He had 2 wins last night as well at Mandurah with Orson Assassin and Great White. So the Withers Kennel is on fire. The rich just keep
getting richer.
Well, there's lots happening, James, and if we don't see you on track, we hope to catch you next week on the show.